Welcome back for another round of comic critiques. If you missed yesterday's video, yes, I did another critique video yesterday on Christmas Eve. Today's Christmas. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy holidays if you celebrate something else. And today we'll continue our review of your comic pages. Without further ado, let's dive in. I'm very excited because we have a black and white comic page by Susan Marks. I don't know the title of this comic, unfortunately. It's a two-pager, but it's fine. This is like one panel, so I thought I would just critique like both of them. First of all, I love the graphical quality of this. It almost makes me feel like these are paper cutouts, you know, and placed on these very nicely textured backgrounds. It's like almost really graphical shapes overlapping each other, which I really, really like this style. Simple drawings. Very, very unique style, really focused on the quality of, like shapes and the feeling you want to give us with your art style, I feel like, and I really like that. I like the kind of textures that you're using for the background or even here on the color of this person. What I also really like is your use of a silhouette right here. It's a very interesting way of not making the panel too busy because there's already a lot going on in the background here. And then have the foreground be a silhouette. I think that's a nice touch. I had some points for you. First of all, I'm not quite sure if it's maybe your storytelling style and that you make this decision consciously, but sometimes I'm losing a little bit the sense of the characters being grounded in a space because you're not giving us an indication of floor. Here, it could kind of still work here, but perspective-wise, you would probably see a line, somewhere over here, eventually, just to give us a sense of there is a floor going on. Here, we look down so much that it's not really necessary here, but in this panel I'm kind of missing it. Like the floor is going, for my feeling, the floor is going into the wall, and that really it kind of kills the depth a little bit. So I would just place the line here. I would do the same here. Just to ground the characters on the floor, because now they're just floating in a space. You don't have to draw the background here because there's a lot going on. I don't think you need the background. It will just make them feel a little bit more stable, I feel like. So I would just draw a background in here. And for a panel like this, that doesn't have to, because this character is obviously been overtaken by emotion, and I always feel like this static texture is almost like what's happening inside her brain. Which I really, really like. So the character feeling ungrounded in this panel actually makes a lot of sense. A little word about word balloons. There's a few things I wanted to say about it. You have a slight tendency to not really overlap, but have tangents. Like this is also maybe not the best. Like maybe you would have been better off a little bit to maybe make the silhouette a little bigger and really place the word balloon inside of the silhouette instead of having this slight, like the overlaps are all very, very slight, like here as well. Then here a few. This is a tangent. This very, very close to the baseline of the panel. Here you're just touching. The panel's not really overlapping. And the thing that tangents tend to do, here's another one, tangents kind of kill the depth. If you make something overlap, make it really overlap. That will give you way more depth in your panels. And also, this looks a little uncomfortable to our eyes. Like these shapes are very, very close together. It gives a sense of tension where you maybe not necessarily want it. So be mindful of all of these. I'm not sure. I think you're putting in the word balloons first before the art, or at least you plan for them. But make sure, especially in a panel like this, this character is pushed way to the side. And that can be because you deliberately did this. Of course, I don't know the context of this scene. Maybe you want to make this character really like not dominant, and not very, very present, because you cut him off almost everywhere. Here you're even making him a silhouette. He's very cut off here, just one eye visible, and here too you push him very, very to the side. And in a panel with this much space in the background, I wonder if it wasn't deliberate in this panel, but you did that because you had to have a lot of space for the word balloons. A thing about the word balloons too is that I'm sorry to break the news, but you might actually need even more space for them, because officially when you do word balloons and you want to make it as legible as possible, now they sometimes feel a little bit cramped. Let's say I don't hand letter normally, but let's say I am a word balloon. This is not good lettering, guys. First of all, you want to have the letters, and in this case that was really hard. Normally what you would do is leave around a character of space. That's a very weird line. You would leave around a character of space around your entire text, and that's how you fit the text comfortably in a word balloon. What you're doing a lot of the times is, what you did here is you even let the line of the balloon hit your artwork. I'm not sure if it's because you didn't want to cover up the ear of the dog. A lot of these balloons would need more space around them to really make the text sit comfortably. And you know, word balloons, they feel like a necessary kind of like thing sometimes, but they really are part of your artwork. The text is a little on the heavy side. This is really important dialogue. Like, this is really, really important dialogue. And she's like breaking into him. Sometimes I even feel like in something like this, where this is the first balloon you're supposed to read, then you read this one, then you read this one, I would even put more space in between these, because she's butting in. Like, you want to give her the space to say, you know, ask the question. So I would maybe even put this panel way more here, but this one even further to this side. So she's really butting in with the question. You know, and then even, this is silly, put this word balloon a little bit more here, and then have the word balloon attached, maybe even, and have a little bit more space for the character. Sorry, this is turning really messy. And you know, play a little bit more with the word balloon placement. You have a lot of square text. Ideally, you have a character space around, like your balloons will start turning square as well if you do this, or you lose a lot of space below and above your text. You know, if you want to make the balloon really round, you see you start losing space here and here. And here that would be less the case. It would be more equally distributed space around the text. Here too, very square. And then you have these corners that you need to be dealing with. And these corners need a character space. So your balloon turns pretty big. And you have a lot of wasted space. So keep finding these diamond shapes. Here I would put the when here. Yeah, that would already make it easier. Like, I would put that on top, so you have more of a diamond space, which makes it easier to do the balloons. Here too, start counting. I would break them up and do start counting round. Those are the comments I have for you. Good work. I really like your style. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your page with me. That was it already for this video of today. This is the shortest one. I had 5 comics, which makes it hard to divide it in 3 videos. I want to take this opportunity to make you aware that I have a comic course launching in January 2021 on Kickstarter. If you haven't already, put yourself on a notification list. You can go to howtostartacomic.com. The course is all going to be about how to prepare for making your first pages. So what do you need to do? How do you go from a blank page to a fully prepared comic that you can just start making and have a good workflow for? So I have a course that's divided up into 4 modules. We're going to talk about how to come up with ideas, how to develop those ideas, flesh out those ideas. Then we're going to talk about story, how to make a good story, how to make sure that your story is solid before you start your comic. Then we're going to dive into designs. How are you going to be building your world? How are you going to flesh out your characters? What are they going to look like? And all of that good stuff. And in between, we're going to talk about workflow and, setting up good systems and all of that good stuff. And then module 4 is all about making your pages. How do you make an actual comic page, which is kind of like a small crash course into making comic pages. So if you're interested in that, go to howtostartacomic.com, sign up for the notification list. If you're on my email list, you will know about it. You can go to my email list as well for this and get a checklist, which is basically the mini version of my course. If that sounds interesting, go to pencilsandstories.com/extra. Again, all the links are in the description. So I would be so happy for you to check it out. The course is going to be like the cheapest ever on Kickstarter because it's an early bird price. You can get all kinds of other goodies if you're interested in that, all related to comics. I'm super excited to start that in 2021. Tune in back tomorrow because we're gonna do 2 more pages and they're really nice and I can't wait for you to see them, and I hope the critiques are going to be helpful again. So tune back in tomorrow. For now, go and make some comics if you have the time on this Christmas day. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and see you tomorrow.